बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। चैप्टर नंबर 3 स्टार्ट करते हैं एफईडी का, ऑफिन एंड पेनल्टीज का। अच्छा, ये लिखा था फेडरल गवर्नमेंट में अपॉइंट मोर देन वन स्पेशल जज एंड दैट स्पेशल जज शैल बी दैट द शेल स्पेशल जज शैल बी द पर्सन हु इज और हैज बीन द क्वालिफाइड टू द सेशन जज। ये हमने शायद बात वहाँ सेल्स टैक्स में पढ़ी थी कि जो स्पेशल जज होगा वो अभी या पहले क्या हो सेशन जज हो तो क्या बन सकता है, वो स्पेशल जज बन सकता है। उसके बाद प्रोविजन रिलेटिंग टू ट्रायल ऑफ ऑफेंस बाय द स्पेशल जज आर डिस्क्राइब इन द सेक्शन। अच्छा, इसके अंदर अगर मैं सेक्शन नंबर 12 की बात करूं तो ये है सेक्शन नंबर पर डिटरमाइन द वैल्यू ऑफ द पर्पस ऑफ ड्यूटी। तो 12 में बस नहीं हो सकता। अगर हमें 21 की बात करें हम लोग तो 21 जो है वो है हमारे 221 जो सेक्शन ही नहीं है हमारे पास, ठीक है। सेक्शन नंबर 2 जो होगा वो प्रिलिमिनरीज का होता है, डेफिनेशन, तो ये डेफिनेशन का होगा। और 12 जो है मैंने अभी बताया 12 किसका है, डिटर्मिनेशन द वैल्यू फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ ड्यूटीज। तो 12 भी नहीं होता, कौन सा होगा, आपको 21 होगा। प्रोविजन फॉर रिलेटिंग ट्रायल ऑफ द ऑफेंस, कौन सा है 21, ट्रायल ऑफ द ऑफेंस बाय द स्पेशल जज, सेक्शन 21। The officer of Inland Revenue empowered to hold inquiry under section 22, the Federal Act 2005 shall maintain a register to be called Register of Arrest and Detention in the prescribed form in which he shall enter the following: name and other particulars of the every person arrested under this act, and together with the time and the date arrest, the detail of the information received. बोल क्या है दोबारा से, द ऑफिस ऑफ इंडियन रेवेन्यू टू होल्ड द सेक्शन नंबर 22 सेक्शन है कौन सा, पावर टू अरेस्ट एंड प्रोसिक्यूट। तो 22 के तहत क्या करना है हमें, shall maintain a register to be called the register of arrest and detention in the prescribed form in which the shall they enter the following: name and the other particular of the every person arrested, ठीक है, under this act, together with the time and date of the arrest, detail of the information received, ठीक है, detail of the things, good or document recovered from his custody and the name of the witness of the explanation। 22 के तहत क्या होगा, all of these and the such registered or authenticated copies of its all detail in, ये सब चीजें क्या होनी चाहिए रजिस्टर्ड ऑफ अरेस्ट एंड डिटेंशन में। तो सेक्शन 22 किसका है हमारे पास, पावर टू अरेस्ट एंड प्रोसिक्यूट। आफ्टरवर्ड्स an appeal against the order of a special judge in respect of the trial of offense shall lie to the respective high court of the province within days of the passing of the order under the criminal code of criminal 1989 by the single judge of the high court। तो क्या होना चाहिए इसका हमारे पास, 30 days of passing of the order। An appeal against the order of a special judge in respect of trial of offence shall lie to High Court to the offence within 30 days of the passing the order। उसके बाद provision relating to the arrest and the prosecute are mentioned in the section 42। तो sorry section dash of the federal, अच्छा prosecute वाला section हमने भी पढ़ा है, कौन सा है वो हमारा 22 था। तो पावर टू अरेस्ट एंड प्रोसिक्यूट कौन से में लिखा हुआ है हमारे पास, ये लिखा हुआ है तो सेक्शन 22 के अंदर। ओके, where an offense under the where an offense under this act rule or made there under by him committed by the company, firm or the anybody of a person any person who at the time of commission of the offense was a dash of the company। क्या होना चाहिए उसको, and where an offense committed by the company and the person who at the time of commission of the offense was made the company, the firm or the anybody of a person was purporting to the act, the capacity shall be deemed to be the guilty of the offense unless he proves that the offense by was committed। तो ये कौन, डायरेक्टर भी हो सकता है, मैनेजर भी और पार्टनर भी है, तो क्या होगा इसका, ऑल ऑफ दीज होगा। उसके बाद द फेडरल गवर्नमेंट अपॉइंटेड एज मेनी स्पेशल जजेस एज इज कंसिडर इट नेसेसरी, it may consider necessary and where it appoints more than one special judge shall be specified in the notification the territorial limits within which each one of the from them, each of the them shall exercise jurisdiction. So judges, special officer, special official, या all of these. क्या होगा इसका? स्पेशल जजेस होगा. A special judge shall be the person who is qualified for the कौन सा जज होना चाहिए? सेशन जज होना चाहिए था. उसके बाद फिर on the appointment of a special judge for any special judge. ठीक है. On the appointment of a special judge for any area often published under this act shall be retired exclusively by the special judge, and all cases pending in any other courts in such area immediately before such appointment shall stand days to the such special judge. तो क्या होगा इसका हमारे पास? Before such appointment shall stand on the appointment of a special judge for any area, offense punishable under this act shall be tried exclusively by the judge, special judge, and all cases pending in the other court in such area immediately before such appointment shall stand transferred to such special judge. क्या हुआ इसका? ट्रांसफर्ड. उसके बाद द प्रोविजन ऑफ स्पेशल कोर्ट. अच्छा, ये स्पेशल कोर्ट कौन सा था हमारे पास? 1999, 1990, 1898, 1987 नहीं, 1996 आई थिंक ये भी नहीं. क्या होगा इसका? 1898 हम लोग पर भी लिखा हुआ था, ये लिखा, यहाँ भी लिखा हुआ. अच्छा, द कोड ऑफ क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर shall have the effect as an offense punishable under this act where one of the offense referred to in the subsection of one dash of the codes. ऑफेंस के बारे में कौन सेक्शन में लिखा हुआ है? सेक्शन 331, 334, 336 और 337. ये बात कहाँ लिखी हुई है? 337 के अंदर लिखी हुई है. The Code of Criminal 1989 shall have the effect as in the offense punishable under this act whether one of the offense referred in subsection 1 of the 37337 of the code. उसके बाद फिर the provision of chapter 10, 10 or 20 of the Code of Criminal 1989, 1899, 98 shall apply to the trial of the case under this act, so they are dash with provision of this act. क्या होगा? Not inconsistent. चैप्टर कौन सी बात है? चैप्टर 20 ऑफ द क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर 1898 shall apply to trial of the cases under this act in so far as they are not inconsistent with the provision of this act. Afterwards, the federal government may order in the written transfer, direct the transfer at any stage of the trial of any case from the court of one dash to the court or to another special judge. From the court of the one special judge to court of the another special judge. एक ही special judge से दूसरे special judge पे चारों ट्रांसफर हो सकती है. For the disposal wherever it is transfer will promote the justice and train to the convenience of party business type special judge आएगा. उसके बाद फिर 14 में in respect of such case transferred or special to a special judge, such judge shall not by the reason of the said transfer dash to recall and be here any witness who have evidence in the case before the transfer may act on the evidence already recorded by the produced before the court which tried the case before the transfer. क्या होगा इसका हमारे पास? The in the sort of case transferred to a special judge, such judge shall not by the reason of the said transfer not bound to recall and know to hear. वो बाउंड नहीं है कि आपको दोबारा कॉल करे या दोबारा सुने. तो आपको दोबारा भी क्या कर सकता है, कॉल कर सकता है, वो दोबारा सुन भी सकता है। एनी फेडरल एक्साइज ऑफिसर authorized by the board in the behalf which has reason to believe that the any person committed an offence under this act may arrest such person after obtaining permission in the written from the commissioner, collector, additional commissioner या तो क्या होगा इसका, कमिश्नर कंसर्न। 16 they shall immediately intimate the fact of the arrest of the person। तो फेडरल एक्साइज ऑफिसर shall immediately intimate the fact of the arrest of the person to the special judge, who may direct such officer to produce that person at such time and place and no such date on the special judge considered expedient, and the such officer shall act accordingly। क्या होगा इसका, फेडरल एक्साइज ऑफिसर। Any person arrested under this act shall be produced before the special judge, or there is no special judge within a reasonable distance to the nearest judicial magistrate within the 24 hours of the such arrest, excluding the time necessary of journey from the place to arrest to the court of the special judge, or as the case may be, of such magistrate। तो 24 आवर्स में क्या है, इसके पास लेके जाना है। When any person is produced before the special judge before the judge, he may order on the request of such person, after pursuing the record, if any, and after giving the prosecution and the opportunity of being heard, admit him to bail on his execution a bond, with or without the securities, or refuse to admit him to bail and direct his detention at such place as he deem fit। Special Judge 19। Special Judge from the cancelling the bail of the special from cancelling the bail of the such person at a subsequent stage, if if for any reason he considers such cancellation necessary, but before passing such order he shall afford such person an opportunity to being heard, unless for the reason to be record the cancellation। ठीक है, तो क्या सुना जाएगा उसको हमेशा। Special judge or the magistrate, the remanding any such person to the custody of the federal excise officer holding the inquiry, and against the person if the such officer make a request in written to effect, and the special judge of the judicial magistrate, after pursuing the record, if any, hearing such person is one of the opinion that the completion of inquiry or investigation, it is necessary to make such an order, provided that in no case the period of such custody shall exceed 14 days। ठीक है। When the any person is arrested when any person is arrested under this act, the federal excise officer shall record the fact of the arrest and other relevant particulars in the register, shall immediately proceeding inquiry to the charge against such person, and if it complete the inquiry within days hours of the arrest। तो क्या आएगा, 24 आवर्स ही। उसके बाद फेडरल एक्साइज ऑफिसर shall exercise the power and the exercisable by an officer in charge a police station under the code of criminal procedure 1898 but such officer shall exercise such power subject to the foregoing provision of this act while holding while holding an inquiry under this act. So same exceed different in none. Federal excise officer shall exercise the same power as the excise officer in charge of the police station. ठीक है तो क्या आएगा सेम. A federal excise officer shall exercise the same power as exercised by the officer in charge of a police station under the Code of Criminal 1989. But such officer shall exercise such power subject to foregoing provision of this section while holding an inquiry under this act. उसके बाद फिर if a federal excise officer after holding an inquiry is one of the opinion that there is no sufficient evidence or reasonable ground to proceed against the person, he shall make a report to the effect to the commissioner, and with his approval may release him on the executing a bond with or without the securities, and shall direct such person to appear as and when required before the special judge, and the may make a report to the special judge for the discharge of a such person, and shall make a full report of the case of this immediate superior. ये क्या होगा कमिश्नर. उसके बाद 24 पढ़ते हैं कि days to whom a report has been inquiry and hearing the prosecution again agree with the तो क्या होगा इसका special judge to whom a report has been inquiry and hearing the prosecution agree with the such report and discharge the accused, or if he is or of the opinion that there is sufficient ground for the proceeding against such person, proceed with his trial and direct prosecution to the produce evidence. क्या होगा इसका special judge. The federal excise officer empowered to hold inquiry under this section shall remain a registered to be called dish. इसका सेक्शन तो हमारे पास है power registered of power and relation. The federal power to hold the inquiry under this section shall maintain a register to be called the register of arrest and detention. इसको prosecute भी बोलते हैं ना दूसरे सेक्शन के अल्फाज में. उसके बाद फिर after completing the inquiry the federal excise officer shall as early the possible submit to the special judge a complaint in the same form and the manner in which the officer in charge of a police station submits a report before a court. ठीक है फिर लिखा हुआ है any magistrate of the first class may record any statement or confusion during the inquiry under this act in accordance with the provision of of the code of criminal procedure. तो section 164 any magistrate of first class may record any statement or confusion during the inquiry under this act in accordance with the provision of section 164 of code of criminal 1998. फिर आपके पास 28 without prejudice of the foregoing provision of this act, the federal government may notification in the official gazette. Okay. उसके बाद 29 पे आते हैं. Any person has committed an offense liable to the penalty of punishment under this act, the dash may or either before after initiate any proceeding of the recovery of duty, prosecution of the such person, compound of the offense if he pays the amount of duty along with such default surcharge and penalty as is determined under the provision of. तो कौन करेगा इसको 29 का? He is the person committed penalty. Such person the commissioner may or either before or after the initiating the of any proceeding for the any recovery of duty. And 30 पे आते हैं. 30 लिखा हुआ है हमारे पास कि any federal excise officer duty empowered by the board in the behalf shall have power to summon any person whose arrested punishment या attendance. So whose arrest he considered necessary either to give the evidence or to produce the document or any other thing or information in it inquiry which such officer is making for any other purpose of this act. इसके बाद last इस chapter का all the persons so summoned days to attend shall not bound, shall be bound, can be bound or none. तो क्या होगा इसका? The all person of so summoned shall be bound to attend either in the person by the authority agent or such officer may direct, or all the persons so summoned shall be bound to state the truth upon the such any subject respecting which they are examined to make the statement and to produce such document and other things as may be required. क्या होगा? Shall be bound. तो चैप्टर 3 हमारा कंप्लीट होता है.